Like, if Fnatic get off to a good start here to get the momentum going, I think there's a real chance of an upset, at least on map 1 here.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely agreed. I mean, you were asking me about data earlier. I think they're one of the worst teams on T-side Mirage.
I don't want to pigeonhole you as the data guy, by the way. But
I do have it.
So it turns out you do have it.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think they have something like 30% T-side win rate on Mirage, so that's something to look out for.
Well, we're about to see if you're right. We can now get into the action with our commentators.
Thank you very much, Richard. Aurora versus Fnatic. But, you know, right now, looking at Aurora, this has to be their competition. I think that's what everybody's saying, Jason. In that sort of respect, the context of this game, we'd like to see Aurora just come in and handle business against Fnatic.
I mean, I'll say this. Aurora's my favorite to win this whole event.
Yeah.
I mean, whether I actually believe they can do it, I don't know. But, like, again, it's the same thing as 3D Max, where this team has been, you know, in the playoffs of so many events. They've been like a top 5 team, a top 10 team this whole year. If they're not favorites here, right, so what are we doing? What are we doing?
Those are the two teams, right? 3D Max and Aurora that you expect to win this event. But the problem is we've never seen them win, either of them, right? At least 3D Max have won smaller tournaments. But, you know, when you're looking at Aurora, this is absolutely their chance to win a title of this scale, and they have to take that opportunity. But I'd be really intrigued to see what level they're going to bring to the table here today against Fnatic, because I personally feel like Fnatic are going to cause them some problems in this series.
They should be able to. I don't know, like this it's an interesting one, because I kind of have a similar mindset to the first series, where it's like, if you can't show up here in this first game and blow Fnatic out of the water and just get through this 2-0 without any real issues, then what are we talking about in terms of the level you're at? But at the same time, Fnatic have some things that SAW don't have. For instance, they have BlameF, who as an individual can just like give you the numbers you need to carry you through stretches of the game, to win you maps.
On Mirage, he's been that player. He's been that guy through all of his teams, you know, whether it be Epsilon into Heroic into many other teams.
And I mean, look, you can have the conversation of whether you think he's, you know, his gameplay involves a lot of baiting or not. That's a whole separate conversation, because no matter whether it does or it doesn't, he's going to win you some maps at this level, right?
True.
Like, what more do you want from the guy?
Well, Fnatic are going to be going towards the B bomb site. The setup designed to deal with this is jottAAA and MIBR together. jottAA's going to play under the window. MIBR has a flash ready for him. But the bomb is actually down in the underpass, so no full commitment going to be coming through for Fnatic just yet.
No, taking it really slow for now. Letting Aurora think about this one. They've got some deep lines of sight, though. Xantar is getting a little bit flirty over towards Khan. They hear nothing in middle. They hear nothing, no shuffling of nades or dropping of bombs outside of the A bomb site. So very happy, Fnatic, to keep this quiet for very, very long. Crims is going to be a little bit of a distraction. Smoke in mid, Molotov in towards the window. Here's the B exec.
Yeah, finally things get a little bit loud. It's going to be Fear jumping out of the window straight away. jottAA going to make sure he can't go further into the bomb site, but BlameF taking one back here. Couldn't get the follow-up as jottAA realizes no bullets were coming at him, so he's able to just stay composed. And he's going to walk away with a 4K. jottAA looks up into the apartments and secures 4 on the dual Berettas. He never even had to leave that position.
No, it was an awkward pathing out of the window for Fnatic. That second player kind of gets stuck in the cubby right next to jottAA and realizes he can't peek because he's going to step right into the shots being fired at his teammate. And when he does peek, that's Jacasmo, gets his head ripped off for no good reason. So great round. I mean, this is just brilliant shooting from jottAA. Not a whole lot of distractions or obstacles in his face, and he gets 4 clean kills.
And now Fnatic down to what is unfortunately an eco, because they didn't get the bomb plant in the previous round. So it's going to be a 2-0 lead for Aurora out the gate. jottAA, he was the player that came in at the start of the year for Aurora that really elevated their ceiling, it felt like, Jason. You know, they were getting into finals. They were running pretty much a guaranteed playoff team for the first half of the year. Obviously, coming into the second season, had unfortunate circumstances with, you know, Zantares wasn't able to attend Cologne. Had to bring an X-Flow for that one.
You know, it's kind of the fun around the conversation of Fnatic, because we just got done casting 3D Max, or excuse me, not Fnatic, of Aurora, because we just got done casting 3D Max, where it was like, look at the exhausting schedule they've been on. Well, if you go to Aurora, look at the exhausting year they've had in terms of the first half of the year, they went to everything, and they got burnt out, and they were very vocal about that. But the more exhaustion I'm getting at is the idea of they've been to so many playoffs, so many quarterfinals, so many semifinals, and haven't gotten over the hump. And when they've gotten into those grand finals, they've gotten beaten. So, like, as a team that's been, like, fighting to progress throughout this whole year, never able to turn the corner and actually get that capstone victory, that's exhausting. Of grinding and putting in these hours with your teams, going to all these events across the world, and not seeing any measurable improvement whatsoever.
Yeah, the one that really stings in my mind, because I was there watching it, was Aurora against Team Liquid at Fisher Playground in Belgrade. You're in the arena, They had all their family in the front row.
Yeah, dead Team Liquid as well.
And they just got absolutely bodied by Team Liquid, yeah. Where it was Twist just going on to FaZe after that tournament. You could see just the disappointment and the emotions from Madra in that post-game as well. And obviously their exit from Pro League has got a sting.
I mean, Blood touched on it. Part of the problem that Aurora has is you have a pretty deep team with Joda, with Rakadia, with Woxic, with Zantares in terms of the skill and production quality, but it really feels like once you get to like the top 6 level of competition, this team wins and loses on Zantares. Like, he feels like once you get to like the best teams in the world, if you don't have Zantares, you just can't win. Against the other teams, the rest of the guys can pull you through some things and have some good performances, but you need Zantares at the end of the day, and he's been very up and down in those games.
Yeah, especially that last tournament they just played in Malta in the deciding game. Well, it's going to be a 2-0 lead here for Aurora. Finally, Fnatic getting to a bye. Going to be defaulting across the map. 2 players in the underpass. One out towards top middle, one in Palace, and the bomb in the back of Fear waits in T-spawn. So Fnatic just getting themselves some early positioning in through middle. And Aurora happy to let them have this mid control.
There's a little bit of utility out. Fnatic still just stand behind these smokes. Aurora setting up a trap. Nice kill from BlameF. And now Zantares has a lot of pressure placed on him. And from behind, it's Crims waiting for that retreat.
Yep, it's all come crumbling down here for Aurora. 40 seconds left. 1 kill from Woxic. But should never really go anywhere in this round for Aurora. They know exactly where Woxic is. They're going to bail that bomb out of harm's way. Get it back out through short with the final 30 seconds. Going for the B-bomb side finish. And Fnatic will take themselves their first round win here.
Yeah, and this is a nice message Fnatic sends early on in this half of, look, if you're going to give up all this space, if we're going to be able to utilize this and not have to feel any pressure, not feel any kind of retakes coming in, we're gonna punish you eventually. There's an opening kill from BlameF to start things off, and Fnatic have their first round on the board. Let's not forget too, I mentioned one of the strengths that Fnatic has being BlameF, but also the core from the Passion UA team that caused all those surprises. Fear, Jambo, Jacasmo, those guys showed a lot of good things back at Shanghai when we were casting in this very studio. So now all of a sudden you get that core over, and you got an interesting Fnatic team to see what exactly the ceiling is going to be. What path are they going to be on? Where do they get a start at?
Yeah, did it again in Shanghai just last week as well. Fnatic, one of the teams, just like 3D Max, who have just flown out from the playoffs of CAC. But we thought, okay, based on their run at that event and the upside there seemed to be when it comes to those kind of players, we thought maybe we'd see this team broken apart, all those pieces would go elsewhere, especially with there was sort of this fever of trying to pick up young players and new players.
Yep.
And all the big organizations pulling people through. Didn't seem like that happened to the Passion UA guys. You know, going to Fnatic, sure, in 2016, that would have been a massive move, but not these days, Jason. And it's kind of crazy this is where they ended up.
I think you can see, if we had seen them a little bit more outside of that one major, which was really their kind of only revelation to the world, you know, if we had seen some kind of a build-up, if you saw some events after that kind of stuck with similar success, you would have seen more teams trying to poach the individuals, and just for whatever reason didn't happen after that event. Little pause, a break in the action. Round 4. Look at those stickers. Little
I'm looking.
Pin-up stickers. That's all I got. Here we go.
A lot of looking at that. Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, everybody, let's focus on the Counter-Strike.
Sorry, I zoned out there for a moment. Here we go. Utility is out. Zantares is pushing middle. 2 players waiting for him. No utility to set anything up.
Oh, my Fear just jumps into the open with a knife out. Thought he was going to get across, and Taurus takes him away.
It's a weird miscommunication, though, because Jambo falls back to throw the flashbang, even throws it after Fear's already dead. So I don't know if that was an assumption or if nobody called out, hey, I'm throwing the flash, I'm setting it up. That just looks a little bit silly at the end of the day. 5-on-4 advantage for Aurora, but Woxic can't land the op shot. It's BlameF again.
Well, Kadia gonna go for the push through ramp as well. He's off on a journey. But BlameF has taken his teammate down in Con. He's going to flash the short play into this. Aurora, fortunately, their strongest setup is still at this B bomb site. As Zantara is going to be using that rifle to devastating effect it short. Jambo's gone. That flank is all the way through T-spawn now. Vukadia, if they try and backtrack, he's still there. He's still a threat. You can see BlameF aware of that.
Yeah, I don't know if he heard a footstep. I think he was still too far away, but very aware of the possibility. But now you have a weird decision to make if you're Fnatic, because if he did hear the footstep, you kind of know you're boxed in, and you know the defense is strong moving forward. So Jacasmo is going to try and work themselves out of this, go for a little bit of a peek, sees nothing, comes back, and Major's out in the open.
Yeah.
3-on-2 now.
Yeah, there's the tracking from BlameF, eventually taking the headshot at top middle. Took a little while. 15 seconds left. That bomb going for the finish, and Major nearly gets himself in position to stop it from happening, but won't. So it's Zantares again. 8 seconds. They cross right into him, and Zantares will cross them out. It's a 3rd round win for Aurora. Not much of a celebration for Zantares. Just another day at the office on the cleanup.
Yeah, and you couldn't have too much. The spacing couldn't be perfect if you're Fnatic, if you're Crimson BlameF at the end of the day. 8 seconds on the clock when they swing to take that fight. So BlameF can't even really lag behind, because if Zantares gets away, it's all over. But man, just a couple, I mean, that first kill obviously is there. Even towards the end, Crim's kind of running with this knife out. Fnatic never really in these 3-on-3 got a comfortable position of where exactly Aurora was going to be positioned. Light on utility, light on weaponry with a Galil and a Tech 9 on Crimson Fear. Fnatic fighting back 2 rounds away. Both teams low in economy. This is a pretty important swing round early on in this half.
Casmo is going to go for a peek out towards stairs, but in the meantime, Jambo from peeking bottom connector has taken out the danger man of Zantares. The player who won the round off his own back in the previous is gone straight away. So it's on Jotta to try and pull it back, and he goes into the swing at the ramp, and it's only a single kill. So Fnatic look like they're going to win this all-important swing round to kick off the early stages of this first half.
Yeah, maybe if that first kill's cleaner for Jotta, if he gets it in the first 10 bullets rather than the first 15, might be able to transfer over to the second. But after that first kill goes out towards Khan onto Zantares, that A defense was just going to get pinched. Nice and simple from Fnatic, but you have to say they're having a lot of success in middle with these kind of isolated plays between BlameF, I believe it was Jambo this round who got it over in middle. The opening kill onto Zantares, they're actually doing a really good job of finding success in the middle of the map, which does not bode well for Aurora's defense, which is about to be sent back to the Stone Age with no money in the bank.
So Zantares gets you around in the previous, he dies immediately in the follow-up round, and nowhere to be found for Aurora. Second round for Fnatic, as you mentioned, money now gone, and let's see what this can do for Fnatic's T-side. Fear going to be at the helm, calling his way forward.
I think when the money comes back for Aurora on the CT side, the conversation is going to be, the play calls are going to be a lot more presence of actually denying mid-control, right? Fighting for that space rather than just having a presence there but backing off.
Yeah, they were given a lot of space in every round so far, Fnatic towards mid. You see Jambo just gets away with one in this previous round, able to just peek up and take that fight straight away.
And unafraid, the Fnatic side of going back towards middle after we saw the Zantares push a couple rounds ago, right? You got that opening kill on Fear, but they're just like, whatever. That's a silly one.
And now Jambo's going to go to the AWP, so he gets that out nice and early. It's going to be the first timeout being called here from Aurora.
Yeah, they're talking over exactly what they want to buy and bring into this round. We've seen some investment and then some sellbacks from Zantares, but they're busted. They're just trying to fill up some danger around the M4, around the MP9 with utility.
Well, it was at PGL Bucharest to kick off the season that we found out that Aurora had made the switch from Eternal Fire to Aurora. That was That was the big shocking news at that event.
Does that make this an anniversary of sorts?
Kind of. You
yeah,
know?
A little bit.
Half a year maybe, something like that.
Uh-huh.
Well, we've got, obviously we had Falcons win the previous edition, and they're not going to be here, so Aurora hoping they've got a chance to do so. And let's see what they're capable of in a round like this. You've got 5-7s, a Deagle, MP9, and an M4 here for Zantares. Obviously, Fnatic should be tying the scoreline up here, but it's all about the damage Aurora can dish out. And you can never really count out these players, and there's Deagles and 5-7s on the server.
Yeah, I was going to say, Lucky showed us what the 5-7 can do back on Nuke, just in the previous map of play, but Fnatic going to take this one cautiously, knowing the monetary situation. So they got Fear out towards the mid boxes. He'll park himself, stay safe, keep peeking on each side for information. Wrap back around towards the A-bomb site with a window smoke. con smoke as well to make this look like Fnatic are heading for a mid-round mid-control, but that's not the case. Aurora gambles over towards the other side of the map. Not the worst thing in the world. Just save all 5 of these weapons and try it all over in the next round if it comes in that Fnatic commits here, which looks very, very likely, which is actually happening as we speak. So free bomb site for Fnatic, free 3rd round to tie things up, and Aurora will try again with this force buy in round 7.
Yeah, at least they're giving the mercy to save the weapons. And you at least have a shot in the next round, otherwise it would be absolutely nothing. And the lead would be comfortably taken by Fnatic, but instead it's just a tie game for now. Another game going on as well. Over on the B stream, Astralis versus Bait. That series has just kicked off. And the action brought to you by Henry G and Harry. Feels weird to say that one. Feels weird to say Harry without Hugo, to be honest.
Yeah.
At least they sound the same.
Gotten into a flow, haven't we, with Harry and Hugo?
Yeah, H&H. Still H&H, though.
Still H&H. All tied up at 3. I don't know what Aurora decides to do in this next round. You can be a little bit crazier because you're going to have a buy in the next round no matter what. You'd obviously, if the situation arises, you'd love to save an M4 and AK-47, but you can get a little bit friskier if you want in this eco round, if you want to be aggressive, if you want to set up a trap somewhere because the buy is coming in regardless.
And there's that update in the top right of your screen as well. 5-1 lead for Astralis. Looking strong to kick things off versus Bait.
There's a lot of cool teams here at this PGL Masters Bucharest that are kind of like,
yeah, who's the coolest, Jason?
It's like, let's keep track. Like, cool in the sense of like 3D Max. I already told you, like, my feeling is they should get to quarters, but where are they at? Same with Astralis, who has had some struggles after initially looking good with Hooksy in the lineup. It's like, where are they at? What are they bringing to the table? Same with Aurora is one of those teams. Liquid is one of those teams. This is such a cool event for like a litmus test of what we're going to be getting.
It's like best of the rest.
Yeah, essentially.
Well, this is the force buy that Aurora had in the last round that they saved. So they're going to give it a good go here. This time, you know, didn't work out stacking the B bomb site, Jason. So why don't we just give it a go, stack the A bomb site?
Well, you want to see if Zantares can maybe give anything in con as well, knowing that mid has been kind of the focal starting point of Fnatic. Put Zantares there with the M4 and see if he can provide you an opening kill, and then you can kind of change things around, shift those pistols if you need it. Zantares playing the slow game. He's going to bait that contact.
Zantares trickles out and spots the op of Jambo. It's going to be Wikidia to drop here. 5-7 close quarters. Going to be taken down by Blame F. Certainly had his opportunities there, Madger. Just couldn't connect them, and now that B bomb site has fallen.
Oh, save the M4, Zantares. Okay.
Oh, he's a little too focused on that.
Yeah, I was really trying to come in and recover it, maybe hoping and praying he'd have a nice timing to turn that corner.
Away.
Oh, you're never saving it now.
Yeah, you ain't getting your hands back on that whatsoever, but if you get an AK, that's not too bad. Maybe jottAAA can grab another weapon as he's searching for it, but it's fallen down into the pit. There, he's got it. He's got an AK. So a second picked up here.
That's good money for the future.
Yeah. You lose an M4, you get 2 AKs.
This next round is where I kind of mentioned I think the Aurora philosophy is going to change. I think this is where we might see a little bit more pressure on mid in terms of actually fighting off Catwalk, in terms of actually being dedicated to fighting out Con. Maybe break some smokes in window room if you want to get really crazy. But I think now if you're Aurora, you got to stop letting Fear, got to stop letting Blame F feel like they've got all the freedom in the world in middle, and actually put a stop to this kind of progression of this map control that Fnatic's having. 3 in a row in 4 of the last 5 in the favor of Fnatic as they've caught themselves on a little bit of a streak.
Yeah, a streak, but it's been against Aurora with weak weapons. You know, they haven't had a full-fledged buy round yet, and we've got it out now. So you got Woxic on the AWP, Zantares on an AK. That's always scary, and it doesn't really matter what you say about the rest. It's already a pretty good buy here for Aurora to work with. And Magic going to go for the jump up. Grim's tried to take his head off, but unable to do so on the jump.
So you force an early smoke out. You're now going to call out 2 players at the B bomb site with the Wikidia spam and the utility coming from Major. So information put together for Fnatic and Fear as he starts to put a map together in his brain of how to work it. And over towards Underpass we go. So off that little contact, Crims is going to back all the way off back to the A bomb site. Mid control now being taken over by Fnatic at the minute and 15-second mark. Nobody home for Aurora. And a pretty standard defense coming in to hold this back.
Just going through the motions. That Molotov not going to be too effective with the smoke up in the window. Jambo, though, is going to catch Woxic. So the AWPer for Aurora. Unable to get going early on. Jambo's outmatched him.
That's what I'm saying, by so much freedom. Like, Woxic just gets to park there and wait, and eventually, you know, Woxic's around like, what's going on in middle? I need to peek the check, and gets caught.
Well, there's Jambo. Another follow-up for the AWP. This time, Tara's down, and that's it. That round is over. Fnatic just come charging in. Jambo with some great shots on the AWP. And it is silence for Aurora as Fnatic just outplay them. That is going to be a frustrating round. Usually, you'd see a timeout follow around like that, Jason, but they've already called one early in this half.
Yeah, we'll see what they decide to do. I think a lot of it's going to depend on if Major can keep this M4. They're kind of sliding in this direction as if they're half interested in hunting, but not super committed to it. I think, yeah, if Major doesn't save this M4, I think you have to take a timeout and talk over the money. Jota will be able to buy next round. Zantaras will be able to buy a rifle next round. So as long as you can keep this, you can actually pull together a pretty solid buy. But Major now running out of space and running out of time and dead.
Yep. Rough old time here for Aurora.
What a disgustingly awesome round from Jambo.
Yeah, great shot straight away over the top of the smoking con to get rid of Woxic. Then he drops Zantaras up towards jungle and is also the man to hunt down that final rifle that throws question marks all over this Aurora defense. There's the first. This shot, fantastic against Zantaras and the AK. And then, yeah, this final kill from Jambo, ripping all mercy away.
Yeah, we do see that timeout called, and I don't even know if it's necessarily to talk over money. I think it might also be to kind of calm some frustrations now, because I think that's one of those rounds where if you're Woxic, you're feeling like you really just got sold out by your teammates, you know? If you're Zantaras, you're probably pissed that the AWPer just stepped through the smoke and shot you in the face.
There's 2 rounds now where Jambo has been able to just kill Zantaras for free with the space he's getting towards connector.
Yeah, again, it's all in middle. Like, BlameF got the opening kill earlier on. We saw Fear with some early pressure. I think Jambo got an opening kill with a rifle earlier on in this half. There's just so much production for Fnatic in the middle of the map, and Aurora haven't yet worked up the courage or the attitude to go fight for it and deny that access.
Well, they don't have the weapons to really fight for it in this round, so this is the decision out of the timeout. Jota has a rifle, so does Zantaras, and Zantaras has gone down to $800. So it's really about trying to get these 2 rifles involved, and they're actually set up towards the A ramp early on. There's an A execution coming in with smokes, but they're spread out. It's an A split being created here by Fnatic, but the advanced positioning of the CTs might make things a little uncomfortable if they continue to push, because that bomb is on the runaway. Getting away from the A site, leaving 1 lurker up in Palace, not actually committing into what is going to be an A play and taking mid control instead.
So that's a cool fake throw, and that's obviously worked to a certain extent, although the push is kind of negating that. So the question becomes the second half of this, of what you're supposed to be setting up with the fake. How long does that take to actually come to fruition? Because now Crims is getting flanked out over in Palace. He's got no idea. Your mid players are getting flanked out as well. That'll be Jambo who's exposed on Catwalk, so this needs to be successful right now.
Well, there's a quick kill from Zantaras up towards Palace. Can he get into position in time to help out his teammates? Woxic, a P2000 to a kill on Jambo inside the middle. This is all starting to fall apart for Fnatic. It was looking so good for them, but all of a sudden a 3v5 and no bomb plan, and they've still got Zantaras in Palace. You've now got Jota on default, and that's clean from Fear. Needs a follow-up, and that is exactly what they ordered. Fear with a double kill has just reopened the chances again for Fnatic. BlameF and Khan with Cardia gone, and Woxic and Madra now in a 2v2. Aurora, this is going to be a very frustrating round to let slip. You've got to win this one now. Madra, the timing is perfect. Comes through and drops BlameF, and now they look towards CT spawn.
Woxic's got his AWP as well. They know the position also.
They're going to use some util. Tap on that defuse, try and pull Fear into the fight. But Fear is just going to bide his time and strike with a headshot. Woxic back to the defuse, but not enough time to win the round. Woxic is off to race to save this AWP, and Fnatic will pull it back in their favor, and it is Fear to step up with the clutch and the 2 kills that make the difference, that reopen the round again.
Yeah, his first 2 kills of the game also. He was 0-4 before this, so welcome to the game, and what a big round to do it in. 2 kills, but a round all due to your responsibility.
Look at
again,
this.
And we just mentioned as well, the frustrations that surely had to have been building on the Aurora side of things. Imagine the frustrations now.
Yeah, you just pile more on top.
That's a 2-on-5 victory for Fnatic.
And now it's time for the double op. Wakadia and Woxic bringing them out. Signs of desperation early and a missed shot from Woxic. MF now confident. Fnatic just fighting them. And they're just running out of the ramp, running into A. Zantara is cast off the top. It has to be a safe call, surely. A double op setup thrown into this. Lose this, your money's shot again. And they just need one on the cross. That's the bomb peeking in the fight.
There's smokes and Molotovs on Crims. I don't know why this line of sight is still available to Woxic, but it's causing issues. A lot of issues.
Oh my god, yeah, okay. Fnatic have kind of thrown this one right back to Aurora, and they've caught it. Fear and Crims looking to pull this one back. Missed shot from Wakadia on the stairs player. This has got very messy very quickly. That smoke up, it's perfect for Crims just to be patient and look around the side of. So Wakadia is going to give his kill away. And now a 2v2.
I'm just, they've had 2 smokes this whole time, and there's the easy kill. Okay, Crims 1v2. We'll come back to the smoke situation.
Well, used to be the king of the clutch. Been a while. He'll dust himself off, go back into the fight, and Woxic will deny that.
They had 2 smokes for jungle that whole round, and Crims used his to put a Molotov out in dark, and then Fear used his on connector, and it was just like, all right, we'll just give the op. Yeah, odd round.
Dude, it was such a great start to the round for Fnatic. Like,
honestly, it's such a cool tactic the way they kind of set it up, right? Because I mean, this works out perfectly for the double op setup, which is just blind luck. But they don't throw the smoke in window. They want the opper. They want Woxic to be like, great, no smoke. I'll take this fight. They showed presence. He was thirsty for that kill. Kept his eyes on middle, and then they just kind of walk up A ramp with one flashbang.
And the bomb carriers are standing through the one gap in jungle that isn't smoked.
Yeah, there was some weird fight selection after that, but the setup was cool. You know, let's not take away from the setup due to the weird mid round.
Maybe not anticipating a double op setup as well. That can definitely throw a bit of a curveball into the mix. But Fnatic with good money are right back to the opening, and it's Jambo just confidently hopping around and once again taking Zantaras down at the start of a round.
Yeah, spotted him on the jump over the boxes. Easy kill for Jambo with the AWP. 9 kills now on him, 12 on BlameF to lead the way for Fnatic. And yet another 5-on-4 provided in mid.
And outside of that, what, 3rd round in the game where Zantaras had the hero rifle where he got a 4K. He's had 3 kills since then, so he's had a very frustrating half. Madra at least holding off that BlameF push through the window. Jacasmo also falling to Madra as they just continue to try and walk into him, and Madra's going to punish that. There's a free kill. And Aurora, they have been limping through this half, Jason. They have not looked good. But there is a world in which they exit this 6-6, which, all things considered, is actually massive.
Yeah, it wouldn't be bad at all. I mean, it'll be frustrating, but considering how a lot of this half went, let's see if they can actually pull it off, though. Nothing to me screams that they've kind of snapped back and come alive in this server quite yet.
A lot of it has been Fnatic just kind of giving away the advantages that they've picked up. I mean, start of this round, Jambo gets the opener, and they just walk into the window.
Very quiet. Fnatic's looking for a mistake, looking for any peek. But I think Aurora's had enough giving over mistakes. They just play very hunkered back, let the ops do the work. Work smart, not hard. 6-5 in the favor of Fnatic, but Aurora looking to tie things up here in the final round of the half.
Yeah, Woxic started to really come together now. He's 10-4. Yeah, the rapid comms there of Fnatic going into the last round of the half. No AWP for Jambo, which has been such a tool in terms of healing open these round wins.
They haven't always needed it though, right? A lot of the openings in middle have come from the AK-47. Smoke pops up just as Jambo crosses. Fear's already got a really deep... Look how fearless they are taking this mid. They've just never encountered a whole lot of resistance. The most has been a solo Zantaras push towards top mid and a solo Zantaras push that was handled in lower mid.
Woxic trying to run away. It's going to be Jota, the first victim of the round, though. Zantaras waits inside of Sandwich. Will they check him? Will he go overlooked? Crims just chases him down. Zantaras has a nightmare first half here outside of one stellar round. And Fnatic now 4v2, about to take a 7-5 lead, unless there's something Wakadia and Major can do about this. Wakadia has done damage, but no kill. And Major held in behind this jungle smoke. There should be no world in which Fnatic give this one up. And They're giving a couple of looks, a couple of peeks, but Wakadia is taking none of them. Here comes Madra walking right into jottAAA. And Wakadia, they know exactly where he is. 3 players crosshairs, gaze towards CT, and it will be a 7-5 lead for Fnatic out of the T side of Mirage.
I'll tell you what, for someone who hasn't seen a lot of Fnatic during the stretch where they haven't come back to the Tier 1 events, that's an impressive first game in some time. I really liked that. That was cool. I think benefited a lot by Aurora playing a pretty passive defense in the middle, as I talked about a number of times, but just BlameF still have an impact, which is great. Jambo's AWP was on point. Fear had some very nice calls, a nice clutch win. That's a well put together half from Fnatic, especially considering they lost the pistol.
Well, you know, looking at Fnatic, something I've noticed as well is I'm a big fan of their coach, Independent at the moment, at least how he's sort of presented himself. He's from Latvia, 27 years old. A lot of the interviews he was giving back at CAC last week were fantastic. I think a lot of the pragmatic approaches he's brought to the team are fantastic. So looking forward to seeing what he can do in the future.
Another Latvian.
Yeah.
They're taking over.
Yeah, they really are. He came from the Guild female team.
Okay. And doing good work.
Yeah, ended that in 2024 as well, February 2024. Came into Fnatic in 2025 in May.
Well, this Fnatic org has been looking for someone who can take the helm of this rebuild for quite some time. Looks like they might actually be onto something right now with this roster, with the way this is working out. Another team that we get to see exactly what they're able to do come the major, miraculously qualifying. The sequence of events that had to occur for them to get into the major is just wild. And now they get to play in these events, this lead up, improve what they can in such a short period of time, and see if yet again Fear, Jambo, jottAAA, and I'll even throw Crimson there for good measure, have another surprise major run in them.
Well, surprise, here's the B-bomb shot attack. Jambo gonna wait in the corner. Not gonna check him. The dual Berettas go out with 1, but that is it. A single kill as Madra finds 2. Success as he'll plant the bomb as well down in B. A 4v3 as Aurora look to try and shrink this gap quickly, but jottAAA is so clean on that peak. Walks it with a mouthful of lead. The peak into the open, and now Xantares makes sure jottAAA is no longer an issue. Now bomb is going to take on BlameF with another headshot. Keeps Fnatic within this pistol round. It's Fear jiggling on a timing, comes out with a dual Berettas, and now Xantares up against BlameF. So much firepower in this 1v1, and it's Xantares to come out on top.
Really well done with the Glock. Nicely done, Xantares. And a good hit also. It is 1 kill from the dualies, and there's no one else to be found. 2 players had already jumped out, 2 players waiting far back. Hard for that defense to get a read of it. Good spacing from Fnatic. Just throw this all to hell. Jambo is just like, where's the rest of them? Where are they coming? Crims was flushed into the open due to the wrap around the bomb site. And then just good hold from Xantares. Those open space mid-range fights are his bread and butter.
And now Fnatic not going for the force buy, which will allow Aurora to shrink this gap immediately.
This is a very recoverable map. I mean, Aurora didn't look anything close to great in that first half, but this T side, once they switch sides, they can bring it back here on Mirage. We'll get a new life in them. We'll see if Xantares can have a better time now that he gets to pick and choose his fights a little bit more. Some reasons to be optimistic about the Aurora, I guess, comeback. Small comeback.
Yeah, they've come back already, Jason. It's now 7-7. We'll see if Fnatic can do any further damage here. This little setup towards Con. Get it by the flashbang. Fear has somehow come out with a double kill. Eventually dropped by Woxic. And now Jambo arrives to the party. A little bit too late, though. But Madra isn't going to spot him, so maybe Jambo can get an angle on him with a P250. And Madra comes back, realizes the gap, and secures a 7-7 scoreline.
Jambo is such a solid alias to have as well. We had the conversation earlier about the saw names. Jambo just
Jambo.
Bangs. He's done very well for himself with that selection.
jottAAA.
jottAA's doesn't have the same feel to it, does it? The Jambo is just simple.
Jambo.
It's there. It's in your face.
Yeah, it's good. Cypher. Indeed.
Oh, it's so soon. Not too soon, but soon.
It is very soon. So is the Major. Now Wakadia. He's out towards the top mid boxes. Good space taking. Xantares coming out through the underpass. And he's just going to hang out in middle. He might just jump up here, and yep, that's what a Xantares peak feels like. Fear now dead. That's team nade right on Zantara.
That was, in fact, a team nade. Yes.
Why have you done that?
Well, Zantara's down to 51 through no fault of his own. However, Aurora's going to use the open access runway they have up short. And into the B-bomb site we go. Nobody from Fnatic is moving. They don't have utility, they don't have kits. They have no motivation or desire to go for this retake or to stop this bomb from being planted. So give it up, try again in the next round. 8th for Aurora, and they regain the lead.
Didn't take them long. But like you said, it's exciting thinking about a T-side where Zantara can start to pick and choose some fights. If he can dodge his own teammates' nades, then should have a pretty easy time of things.
Well, and also I think it's always been the case, at least in my mind and from my experience, the CT side has always been the more difficult side for like the more inexperienced teams, right? Like that's the side that I think you have, because you don't get to dictate things, you don't always get to plan everything as exactly as you'd like in the server, in the game. You have to be able to react in the moment. I think sometimes CT side is a lot harder to manage.
Yeah, and if these better teams, you know, these S-tier teams can figure out maybe there's one player that's maybe not as comfortable in his spot.
It's also like, I mean, a team like Aurora is going to have like 4 different tactics they can do off the same 3 smokes, right? Probably even more than that. So if you're like the inexperienced team, like how do you prepare for all those eventualities? How do you create protocols when you haven't played together much? And some of these players haven't been in the top scene for too much to even have that experience. It's one of the things that's kind of gone, I guess, under talked about in this whole Cypher saga about the major is on some level you're bringing in 3 inexperienced players in Jambo, Jacasmo, and Fear. It does make sense if you want to prioritize, you know, a slot, your 5th slot on the team, to have some experience with you as well. And there's not many people more experienced than Crims.
Definitely not. Been around for a very long time. It's crazy, you know, Fnatic, I think, in the tier 1 circuit, if that's all you're consuming or watching or working on, Fnatic could kind of disappear from your consciousness.
That's me.
But just remember,
that's my
Jason,
experience.
that entire time, Crims has still been there.
Crims is still there. You know, I've always known that. That has never left me. The Crims side of things has always been there. Eight to 7.
Crims has sat there and watched as so many other players in the scene have gone and got the bald buff Jason over the years. He was the pioneer.
He was the OG, the original.
Waiting down inside the middle is Crims. Nade will land towards him in the lower area of the connector. As Zantara's eating shrapnel down to 29 HP as that grenade lands on his head.
Crims' first major victory came Katowice 2015.
Wow. That's
10.5 years ago since he lifted his first major trophy.
That's absolutely crazy.
He's been around the block.
Still going.
Well, a huge advantage for Aurora just in terms of weaponry, but Jambo is going to even things up a little bit, taking down Wakadia through the smoke. So good start. Woxic's going to get it right back. Very slow, measured round, and Jambo's trying to find things clever. Shots over the smokes. They've got them in a crossfire. Crims on short.
Oh my god, they haven't looked at it. So Crims then gets distracted, looks back into the bomb site, a little bit confused, and ends up going down after 1. Jacasmo continues to fight on. It's going to be Fnatic. 1 player up is BlameF 5-7. Drops it just to Madger, who also takes a dink on board and then swings into the open.
Yeah, could have been an absolute disaster for Crims because he's getting the comms from BlameF, who's like, I'm hiding, I have a 5-7, they can be out, I can't do anything, they can be peeking you. Crims has no clue where to look. He gets very, very lucky. His first kill as a back-turned player, and he could have even been taken down way, way earlier. So Fnatic right back at it, and Aurora cannot extend the lead any further than 1. If you're like me and you were happy to see 3D Max come in their opening game of PGL Masters Bucharest in the way that they did, the fashion they did in the previous series, I think, you know, maybe you're on the same note as me where I'm not getting that same sense out of Aurora. This has not been an Aurora playing at their peak, not been an Aurora that seems to have a whole lot of great energy. I still feel like this is a team they should be able to kind of maybe not steamroll and just have an easy victory, but it feels like they should be doing much, much better than this.
Here come the smokes in towards the A site. The full execution is through. Aurora have not been able to break through the ramp just yet, though. There's Wakadia. Cutting through the first member of the Fnatic defense is jottAAA. Pushed to the side, but BlameF's response is back from jungle. All the way through that stair smoke onto the top of Tetris, and then another kill, this time from Fear through Khan. Woxic getting put the bomb down in behind Triple. Not too far off landing those shots is Jambo. And then Woxic just takes damage on board with the utility instead, and this is still very uncomfortable here for Aurora. Zantara's trying to fight on, but he's the only player left. And it's a 1v2 as he waits inside a default, and it's a fantastic reposition. BlameF wasn't ready, and Zantara's looking for executions. It's Fear out towards stairs. He'll climb to the top. Zantara's has the cover, but Fear dropping down, trying to get close. Zantara's reels him in and collects the clutch for Aurora. They needed a hero, and Zantara's once again delivering for Aurora.
He just snapped back in on the side change. That's brilliant clutch. That reposition is a thing of beauty. Completely fools both Fnatic players in the 1 versus 2, and that's the kind of step up you need. Maybe that's going to get some energy and some belief back into this Aurora squad. Brilliant clutch from Zantara's in a round that felt like it was falling apart. They got everything they wanted, they got the openings, but they really struggled to get into the bomb site. Felt like Fnatic might steal that one away. Zantara's there to save the day.
Nice shot from Jambo though, straight away. Opening things up onto Woxic, who walks into middle and dies. Oh, response was there, but it's enough damage to drop Jambo to 15, not remove him though.
Good rotation for Jambo though. Just call your boy, call up Crims and say, hey, I'm the B anchor now. Get that deep line with the AWP. Crims gets to be mobile with the MP9. You've got jottAAA up on catwalk with an M4. Smoke Molly to delay if anything comes in his direction. On the Aurora side of things, it's going to end at the B bomb site. They're going to try and coordinate this split with Zantara's. However, without a window smoke, he might not feel too motivated to move all the way up cat.
There's the jump out, jottAAA taking out Wakadia. It's going to be Jambo to follow up. In Fnatic, this is a very comfortable round that really never goes anywhere for Aurora. So you've got Zantara's having to save you in the last round. He can't do it this time. And then you walk into the follow-up round and you just have nothing. Nothing at all. It's Zantara's doing his best, and the bomb, unfortunately, not in his possession.
Yeah, maybe let Zantara's play Gladiator now to start the rounds. Just like everyone, all 4 of us just chill and spawn. Zantara's is going to go kill some things, and we'll see what we got when he eventually goes down.
But yeah, this is just not solid from Aurora whatsoever. It comes back to the point you were just bringing up before the execution in the previous round. It's not what you want to see from Aurora. Like, this is not... 3D Max give you what you wanted to see, which is them coming into that opening game, getting business done. We knew Fnatic had the potential to cause Aurora some problems, but this is Aurora and they're just not looking good to even start out the rounds at the moment.
Yeah, I think that's the big problem at the moment. Is just it feels like we're not seeing Aurora, like their strengths aren't really giving them a whole lot of impact in this game so far, outside of a Zantara's, at least in this half. See if they can find that down the stretch. But again, remember what we always say about the top teams in the world is they can win series when they're not playing their A game, when they're playing their B game and their C game. I don't know what letter we'd classify this for Aurora, but it's definitely not their best. 9-9, still in it. Jambo's dropped in towards the underpass. Could have a quick flank, although it is the AWP. B-hit coming in. It's called right now, immediately, and Crims to defend.
Yeah, Crims waiting out towards the van. Oh, the heads were lining up, but he's unable to get much done. Here comes the short push. Fear turns and addresses that issue. If they try and run him down, the MP9, just not the weapon for that kind of range and that kind of fight. So Aurora have fought their way into a 3v3 as that bomb gets planted.
And because Jambo went in towards underpass, you don't have that very quick rotation over towards market window to help alleviate some of it, and then you miss the shot on the flank, and this should be the round done. Over towards catwalk, you've got so many different crossfires able to be set up. And Fnatic want nothing to do with the retake. They crack into the B bomb site, and Aurora have got double digits.
Yep, finally. It doesn't matter, you know, how pretty it looks. Just effective round victory, at least getting down into that B site. Fear just got in a long-range fight. He wasn't hoping for it. He was hoping that he can maybe catch them coming through the window. He's able to get one, but just how far away the next victim was a big issue for him. So Now double figures for Aurora, limping through this first map.
Biggest issue now is on the Fnatic side of things in terms of their money. They're going to have fine cash in this next round to get out a strong buy. BlameF can drop one. He's got utility already saved up previously, so doesn't need to rebuy any of that. So you're going to have a good buy if you're Fnatic, but this is the last one. This is the round that dictates everything. Every single, the eco rounds you've won, the clutches you've won, it all falls squarely on the shoulders of this round 20, because if you lose this, you're out of money, and then all of a sudden Aurora is sitting there at 11 rounds licking their lips because the finish line is directly in sight. So everything for Fnatic goes into this buy, and a timeout is taken to allow them to talk things over. No op in Jambo, which, as you mentioned, was a great piece of the T side. It's been a solid piece of the CT side as well, not in play in this next round. And for Aurora, they've had a focus, it feels, towards the B-bomb site for 2 or 3 rounds in a row now, so I wonder if Major's ready to switch things up, if he feels he's lulled them into that sense that the B-bomb site is a weakness they're targeting.
Well, very heavy towards A. Look at this from Aurora, just sprinting out. Woxic dead immediately. jottAAA now panicking, calling to his teammates to come and help. And you don't need the Jambo AWP when you've got the Jambo M4, but then you've got jottAAA, who does better than everyone on the Fnatic side. He's got himself a 3K. And Aurora looked like they were just about to be destroyed at the foot of the A bomb site, but all of a sudden that window reopens. And a pause because there's still 1 minute and 30 seconds left in the round.
Yeah, I think Fear's making the play. He's going to wrap all the way around through T-spawn. So he's telling Crims right now, hey, you gotta back off and play it slow. The question is for Fear, how quickly does he want to arrive? He obviously, and now that Crims has moved, they can't know if Aurora falls back or sticks around the A bomb site. So Fear was being very cautious about running till he sees T-spawn clear. Crims might be making a play that's 3 steps ahead of them. They were going to come in this direction. Now they might get funneled right back to the A bomb site, right into the flank.
Yeah, Fear coming out of the ramp. Let's go 32 HP.
jottAA's going to plant for him as well.
Let's see if there's anything to him. Yep, there will. Fear goes out for the peak, denies that bomb plant, and now it's MIBR having to recover this. Remember, this round started with Aurora just trying to bash down this A defense, running through the ramp. Ends up in a messy situation. jottAA thrust them into a position that was still a possible win, but MIBR's the man who has to close it.
Yeah, but he's got to go up.
Look at the time, Jason.
Yeah, he's got to go up short, which is the dangerous point, because Crims can hear these footsteps. If he grabs an angle, when does Major
run?
Just now, there's no one in position to stop this except Crims. Oh, he's got the tag. Fear can't drop in time to get the peak, so Major should be able to get the bomb planted, but what comes after that?
Yeah, you can see Crims just getting the utility ready, waiting on his teammate to come back in. MIBR forced into the open. Can MIBR do this? Can he step up with a multi? They're coming in towards his position. MIBR peeks out on the sound cue. Down to a 1v1, MIBR against Fear, a battle of the in-game leaders, and MIBR out on top.
What a long, extended clutch from the 2-on-2 all the way to the finish from Major. That's a massive step up and so much impact. That's the swing round they needed to knock Fnatic on their ass. Money's gone. You got to feel terrible if you're Fnatic coming into this next round with very, very little to fight with. After how this started, a complete shutdown of the rush. A 5-on-2 until jottAA gets involved in the action.
Sequence is crazy as well from jottAA. And then MIBR plays it perfectly to separate them into 1v1 fights. The only way he wins it. It's very claustrophobic clutch as well. He had nowhere he could go. He was stuck in the site, stuck in that position. And MIBR is often criticized about his lack of ability to win those big clutches, those moments. Sometimes being the player that makes the mistake that loses them crucial rounds, but this time he wins one.
Well, you know, I think IGLs, when they get to be in the clutch, like, great, I only have to think for myself.
Exactly.
Finally, I get a focus on me.
Well, Aurora, one last goodbye here from Fnatic. If you break this one, it is map point to Mirage. Your best opportunity to win it will come in the follow-up.
It's a better buy than I thought Fnatic would have. They've managed to string some cash together. Wakadia with an opening kill provided in middle. That's a short death taken. Now jottAAA has to be aggressive to find the equalizer, and he will.
Yeah, off the top of ticket. Wakadia punched through. BlameF going for the connector fight. A risk involved in this, but BlameF comes out on top, and a second as well. Centaura's removed. Deagle over the top. Way too easy here from Fnatic. Important round one here by Fnatic. How much damage can jottAAA do here?
That'll knock your mental down quite a bit.
Literally gone.
All that excitement.
Dude, look at the money as well. That's actually huge from Fnatic.
That's the second force buy I think they've won. They won one in the first half as well.
Let's just talk about this money from Aurora because they're on double eco on a number of players. They're going to have to buy into this.
Oh, man.
Dude, this could be Fnatic. Winning that round might just snatch Mirage here for Fnatic.
What a reversal. I don't think Wakadia, I think he was in the same mindset as me. We're like, how the hell did they afford an AWP? I never would have expected Fnatic to be able to get an AWP out.
Well,
craziness.
Now it's not just in the hands of jottAAA. Now it's back in the hands of the danger man of Jambo. And Aurora, at least you've got an AK for Xantares. There's always a chance when you've got the AK for Xantares. But Fnatic are the team that are absolutely favored to tie up this map. Aurora's money will still be back on in the next round. Well, Fnatic could just take Mirage here.
I wonder what the plan is if Aurora loses this round. Do you save that round and play 11-12, or do you force buy again at 11-11? It'll be interesting to see what kind of attitude they're working with down the stretch of Mirage. But being very cautious early, there's no utility. Like they have really all they have is Xantares' AK-47. That has to provide so much.
Well, look at this, a double setup inside a connector as well. Xantares' AK gets nothing. Not a thing for Aurora to play with here in round 22. It'll be 11-11. Fnatic grabbing control of Mirage right at the dying embers of the map. It is a cleanup coming through from BlameF on the double. 11-11. The wish for Aurora is that they had more money coming into this next round. They just don't. So now we get to see what decision they make. Do they go for the eco?
You have to save here.
Because yeah, you're not going to get a good force buy whatsoever.
Yeah, you have to save here. I can't see any other eventuality. It would just be insane. So 11-11, Fnatic on the other side have no issues with their economy, no concerns in terms of money. They're sitting pretty. Jambo's back on the AWP with 18 kills. BlameF gone all the way up to 22 frags on this map thus far. We're going to get all 24 rounds here on the opening map of this series.
And Aurora, the idea is to try and overwhelm the B bomb site defense. Maybe you can get a bomb plant. But looking at this setup, it just feels like that is incredibly unlikely. That shot did land on Crims. Just through the wall. So not a huge amount of damage being done to the Swede. Biding the time here. It's going to be a map point in just a moment for Fnatic.
Well, Fnatic know everything that's happening on the map now too, right? With all these footsteps, all the attention towards B halls, they've peeked out mid-window, they peeked out mid-con, they see nobody home. That's a dangerous unload of the magazine if you're Crims. But now with Aurora, it's like really all you have left to do is go forward to your death. Maybe a conversation about the final rounds?
45 seconds. And here they come. Aurora to the final charge of round 23. Fear keeping it clean.
Passing back to Deagle.
All right,
try again.
Your turn. All right, Xantares, he goes ahead and gets himself one. And now Crim's running out of bullets. There's a kill as well, Jason. An AK picked up for Woxic. Surely there is no way. Surely there is absolutely no way this turns into a round win for Aurora. A nice missed shot from Jambo would certainly help, though, as we've now got BlameF and jottAAA. He's trying to come back in and win this. Now down to a 1v1. Bullets gone in the AWP. He's got to go for the reload. And jottAAA, he's done it. He's got 5 bullets back in the chamber, but jottAAA just about saving them through that smoke. That is a round that should never have come that close. Fnatic up to map point, but Aurora somehow, someway come close. Jason, I see you molding over there. What's going on?
I mean, like, yeah, that should have never happened. I'll say this: I'm as big of a Crims fan as you'll find in this world. But that whole round, watching his POV defending the B bomb site, I was like, he looks just uncomfortable. He looks really uncomfortable playing from Van. What angle he's supposed to have, falling back into the bomb site, getting wrapped around, just looked a little bit uncomfortable, like he wasn't prepared for anything coming in his direction. And then the other part is, I mentioned like way earlier that Fnatic had all the information on the map. I was just surprised they didn't shift anyone over to the other side. They didn't have anyone come bolster this B defense. A third player, and there's no issues in that round. Regardless, all the mistakes, all the hiccups, all the awkwardness, Fnatic have one single chance to take this map away. Their map pick in this series, 12-11.
Oh, I'm still recovering from that one, but let's get into this. Aurora, let's spread out across the map. Top mid smoke, window smoke. The bomb position just outside of A for the time being. It's going to be Wakadia over there, and up in the palace will be jottAAA. Woxic and Zentara is heading out towards top middle, and Madrid, his job is to just be a presence up in the T apartments. Another window smoke coming up, replenishing control of middle here for Aurora. But it looks like they're going for an A finish, Jason.
Yeah, and at the moment, the defense is kind of lured towards middle with these smokes up, right? Jacasmo and Khan. BlameF is over in the murder hole watching for the window jump up. The only person at the A bomb site is Jambo playing retake. He needs one. Oh, missed the Opera as Woxic slides into it, crouches into it, and there's the double peek. Caught out in the open, and Fnatic, don't let it slip away now.
Well, still a 4v4, but Fear steps them in the right direction. It's Jacasmo cleared up by Wakadia. But again, Fnatic stay in these fights. They keep the numbers even. No bomb plant yet, but Madra now out of commission as he puts that bomb down in the middle of the site.
Both players have given away the location now. Aurora knows both are in middle behind this smoke.
And that will allow them to get into strong post-plant positions here, doubling up in the jungle. Wakadia is so low on HP. Madra's gone, exposed to Crims, but perhaps him dying might just allow Wakadia to go unchecked. But they're still staying committed to this. Wakadia not moving. Utility goes in behind him. He doesn't peek. He doesn't give it away. And it's a perfect position to drop Fear. And perhaps a perfect position to secure overtime. Aurora not dead yet.
Not excited either.
Well, they just have to stay locked in, Jason, because this is a team that have had too many heartbreaking moments over recent months. They know the sting of losing maps they should win. They had the perfect opportunity in regulation, and they let it slip, and Wakadia has kept them in it. What a round.
Yeah, that's a disgusting round. I mean, he just had to cross his fingers, pray to God that Molotov was going to miss the mark. He was aware of it as well. So perfect. Crim's could have even won that. That's a disgusting one-tap. I'm just amazed at the lack of reaction at the moment. That's throwing me for loops. I don't know. I don't want to read into it too much. But that tilts me. As a former coach and player, that tilts me that we're not celebrating that bigger.
It's always been a big conversation around this Aurora Team 2 as the energy inside of the camp. But perhaps the celebration will be saved until they win this map. Here's Jambo, missed shots, and Tara is clean on that peak.
Oh, here's welcome back to reality. You couldn't close it out in regulation. Now we're in overtime. This is where the big boys eat. Zantares puts one down. Jambo's up, not having nearly as much success these last two rounds in the opening as it's had previously.
That was the T side, where Jambo is really carving out the openers. He'll switch over to that soon, but let's see if there's going to be enough rounds to play with. Aurora going up through short. Crim's aggressive through the apartments. Fear actually got a double kill, and then Crim's up with one. Started well here for Aurora, but suddenly back in favor of Fnatic, very convincingly.
They're on the wrong side of the map, though.
Yeah, they are, and Centaurus is just ripped open play map. Smoke goes down in Con. They get back to safety. Oh my god, they switched because he was low HP.
Switch
Did
back.
they switch back?
Switch back, I dare you.
That's hilarious. Well, 25 seconds left. Both Aurora players extremely low. It's hard to see how they're going to win it, but it's the two best players with the most firepower here for Aurora.
But look at the retake coming in. One Con, one CT, one's coming Palace. Like, what are you supposed to do with 11 combined HP against 3 different points of retake?
And Fear's just keeping attention on him as well. Zentara's actually using that AWP. Crim's now coming out of Palace, spots out Woxic, gets rid of him, and they know exactly where Zentara's is, and it's not really the best weapon for this, so Fear over the top of the stairs will drop Zentara's, and Fnatic head into the lead of the game again.
Good
remember
recovery.
That started with Zentara's on the opener.
Yeah, really good recovery in a 4-on-5. Nicely done. Stop them cold up Cat. Able to finish things off at the A bomb site. Zantares almost provides them the exit strategy. Almost gets that one kill that at least allows them to get into to get the bomb plant and see what you can do with it, but still too far away. 13-12. Let's see what they're going to have in this round. Fnatic's defense holds strong in the first. We're looking for 16 as the magic number. Jambo takes that peek up in window, but smoked out, can see absolutely nothing. Nobody in mid. Aurora is just gonna hit this A bomb site, rinse and repeat. Jambo struggled with his shot earlier in this similar kind of execute, but jottAAA is brilliant in this position earlier to defend the bomb site as well.
Beautiful display of smokes pluming in the bomb site. jottAAA taking grenades on board. His teammate jumping down into sandwich. We need something out of BlameF because his teammates are all dying, but they're blind, and BlameF got a second. Xantares with the essential trade. It's a 2v2, and that bomb will start to get planted now on default. Grenades rain in on Madrim. He's going to be forced away. Half his health removed.
You're going to know his position as well. There's only one place he really could have gone. His exit was being watched by both players, so they know he's going to be behind the boxes in the back of the site.
And Xantares in an off angle. Great headshot. Lost a lot of his health, but they can peek together, and Madrim realizes it's the perfect time to have a look. And that'll be a tie game again.
It really was the perfect time. Fear was looking for that exact peek. He knew the likely thing was the other player kind of peeking up after that kill comes in. Just as soon as he turns his gaze, it's major to pop up. All tied at 13. Double up setup. Oh no, BlameF dropped it back, sold it back.
BlameF's having a good map here as well. 25 and 17 for him right now. The closest is Xantares, 25 and 16. I should do a little bit better. Jambo down in towards the underpass. Here comes Xantares. This is going to be a really tough fight for Xantares to win. There's two players here. One of them is an AWP, and the other one is a rifle on the other angle. And if Xantares plays it well, not to put himself in harm's way. Gets info, creates out some shots, and then goes into it with some assistance of his teammate's utility. Just about spots Jambo in behind the flames.
Yeah, he actually didn't see him initially behind his own Molotov. It was thankfully his teammate threw a perfect flashbang. Bails him out, gives him the extra few seconds to catch sight. 4-on-4 as Wakadia went down on the other side as well. That's in middle. The defense shifts also. Fear at the B bomb site, joined by jottAAA. Krim's playing in the window, and BlameF just tucking himself into dark underneath the balcony. 50 seconds left on the clock, and Aurora goes contact play. Silent until they see somebody.
It's BlameF waiting out of the wood. 40 seconds on the clock. BlameF going into the open now. Waiting, and eventually John has actually just slipped into the smoke at jungle, and that's going to work out perfectly. Hunts down Krims. BlameF has yet to give away his position, and that will pay off perfectly as Woxic walks right into him. Bomb's now loose on the floor at 24 seconds. BlameF again beats them back, and that'll be a 14th round secured by Fnatic. Looking like BlameF might not be in the best position there, ends up making the most of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's great patience as well. Yeah, he missed a player while he missed jottAAA going through the smoke, which gets Krims killed, which is probably a little bit frustrating for Krims, but forgets about that when BlameF wins you the round after that. At some point, he just realizes it's actually better that I sit here and wait and be a little bit of a baiter rather than trying to make up for that missed play.
Especially with the time on the clock.
Yep, plays it perfectly. BlameF doing a ton of great work for Fnatic at 27 kills. They switch back over. Now remember, in regulation in the first half, this was all about Fnatic finding openings in middle whenever they wanted them. A lot of space given over to them by Aurora.
And a big part of that was the Jambo AWP, which he doesn't have here. It's going to be 5 rifles with Fnatic, and those grenades are heavy onto jottAAA. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's a terrifying start to the round.
He's walked into like an Indiana Jones temple right there. All the booby traps attacking him from every direction.
Yeah, no good. And he's probably going to sit out most of this round as well with only 22 HP. Glorified utility thrower. I don't know what Fnatic's going to do to get back into this. 4-on-5. No flashbangs. Couple players really tagged up and very, very low. So you're hoping this advanced position from Krims can net you a kill. If this smoke fades at top con, there's none left for Fnatic to replenish it, so then all lines of sight are open. So I think Fnatic realizing that is like, we can't go short. We actually have to come right up con.
Xantares low HP right in front of him. Drops that bomb. It'll spill to the floor, but BlameF once again on the cleanup. 35 seconds. Will he check sandwich? No. He runs right over the top. A rude awakening as jottAAA just in between his legs. And now we've got Crims left alone, and WCADIA cleans up the final two. And once again, a tie game. It's still anybody's map right now here on Mirage.
Yeah, 14-14. But I think both these teams have gotten to a point where there's not a whole lot of layers to some of these tactics, attacking directly into bomb sites and not a lot of time to like reconvene and pick something else. It's just kind of like, well, we're here and this is our only option. Let's keep pushing forward.
And using the timeout here as well. Fnatic getting another timeout in the overtime. Deciding to use it now. Wanted to grab map point once again. That AWP will arrive for Jambo. We're talking about how good it was throughout that T side. Didn't use it in the last couple of rounds here.
Probably a tactical call. Probably a strategy that didn't really require the op, or he felt like the AK would be more important if he had a spawn base or if he had to be speedy.
But those tactics didn't really work out.
Not that round.
No, not that one. So back to the AWP. Let's see if it pays off for Fnatic now.
Nice smoke break. This is Antares setting up jottAAA for an easy kill, setting up his team for an easy finish. WCADIA has really picked things up towards the end as well, had that brilliant clutch to get them into overtime. Jambo with the op, burns a little bit, great flick down. Rex Antares getting aggressive on a ramp, but WCADIA can bring it right back and will.
Where's Chikazmo now behind those top mid boxes? Woxic, another follow-up, and it looks like Aurora are doing enough to put themselves at map point. But WCADIA walks a little bit too far, and Jambo makes sure that this round is still on for Fnatic.
And that bomb being spotted way at top mid has kind of broken up the defense. Woxic has shifted over with his op to reposition somewhere new back towards Ticket so they can play retake, but it leaves jottAAA alone for quite some time. Major's fine on his own. He's in his happy place. A lot of safety in that kitchen.
Just hitting the pause button. I think, you know, because this round was so rapid to get involved in all those fights, you almost forget how much time is still left in this round. There's 50 seconds on the clock.
And if you're Fnatic, you're loving if Aurora would just go for some information, just walk into your crosshair. That's what you're looking for at this point, is we've been quiet on the map for 30 seconds. Nobody's budged. Now we have to make our move while there's still time on the clock to get the bomb planted.
35 seconds, and here's Woxic ready to go from CT. It's all about patience. Can Jambo win the fight? No. And they also see the Palace players, so not going to be happening here for Crims. It is map point secured by Aurora. It has been a very tough Mirage to kick off this series. They might have just done enough. Fnatic had one opportunity in regulation to close the map, couldn't do it. Now Aurora have that opportunity in overtime.
And you know Aurora's thinking, we better close this out.
Yeah,
let's get the hell out of this nightmare that we've been in here on Mirage. It's been a very sloppy game. It's been maybe their C tier worth of play, and they're just thinking, let us get out of here with a win.
Go on to
Please,
Dust2.
so we can reset.
Dust2's up next. And that's a good start. Get wrecked. Zantara is just destroyed in the window. Chikazmo running out towards the top mid boxes, and Fnatic giving him an advantage to try and prolong play.
All right, double overtime could be on the cards. We'll see how this round plays out.
Yeah, you've got to try and close the game now without Zantaras.
Still very centralized in mid is this defense, though. You have Woxic with the AWP. Because you've switched into double op, you kind of have that flexibility. So really the man disadvantage, the sting of that is lessened because you don't have to shuffle anybody over to the B bomb site to help Woxic. He's got that deep angle. Missed shot, Molotov dropped to buy himself some time. He felt more pressure than there was, so he dumps all of his utility. There's implications in that for later on in this round. Still 1 minute and 5 seconds. And Fnatic reconvene towards middle, towards the A bomb site, but this is where the stack is. Don't tell me you're going to go through your own con smoke.
Oh
Don't tell me you're
God,
going to
that
go
is
through
a
your own con
wild
smoke.
play. They're going to be broken open anyway. Wow, that nade doesn't go far enough. They are going to come to their own con smoke into a crossfire. They might just close this map. jottAAA and Major, devastating finish. Fnatic play them close. They certainly give them problems, but it doesn't matter if Aurora are limping. They will still get through Mirage. They will still take this first map. Anything but clean, anything but convincing, Jason. But Aurora find victory on map 1.
It's not how you start, Dinko, it's how you finish. And Aurora have...
It was going to be Aurora's pick. There's a lot to talk about here, but I think the fun thing is with BlameF playing the way he was, Jambo hitting the shots he was with the AWP, yeah, I think there's enough of an argument, and especially with the level we saw from Aurora, it's like, this is a very doable map for Fnatic. Like you could blame F feeling like the same kind of game he had on Mirage. Dust2 is another one of those maps where individuals just can create the opportunity, slide into a gap, find a seam, and really punish the opposition.
What was really fun about that first map, it felt like it was blame F versus Antares, just then the two titans of each squad, and eventually is Aurora able to pull it over the line. Fnatic going to start on the CT side. Aurora starting with what is going to be a long commitment, but there's two players committed for the CT side towards Pit, and you've also got that top mid push here from Crims. Look at this.
And, well, I think the crazy thing is with the slow T side, the CTs have been allowed to cross over, so BlameF could go unnoticed if Jambo can provide a little bit of a distraction. He's trying to survive and set up a crossfire. Doesn't look like Aurora's considering this in any way.
No, Wakadia walking right towards Fear, who is unable to get anything done for the defense. Jambo's got to go absolutely huge with his Crims flank coming in as well. Crims gets nothing, and Jambo a single frag. So not enough there from Fnatic. No stopping power whatsoever. And a pretty smooth pistol there for Aurora.
Yeah, I think Major comes in and checks it. I don't think BlameF gave anything away. I think Major just is that last guy as the IGL. He's like, I'll check the back of Pit. But I'll tell you this, Fnatic got everything you could have wanted. You got the mid push from Crims that wasn't spotted. You got the advanced position up towards green box. The delay in the T side means that Fnatic got to cross over to Pit. You know, you had a lot of things working for you if you're a Fnatic. You got the exact setup you wanted. Just doesn't pan out in any meaningful way.
Well, they get a force buy straight away here. Get the scout out for Crims. 5-7s. There's two scouts, actually. One for Jambo as well. And Crim's going to be going aggressive up middle again. This time getting spotted, tagged, and finished off. So straight away an opening kill for Aurora, picked up by Woxic. Now, there is a world in which Aurora do come into this map and start super strong, which is what you would love to see if you're an Aurora fan, because Mirage never felt comfortable.
I mean, on some level, like, you know, ooh, that's
Okay, Zantara is keeping Madra nice and safe. That's why they've got the big bodyguard there.
I think you're right. I mean, on some level, I'm like, you know, coming into this, Aurora, get out to your hot start. I mean, you know, close first map, but hopefully that woke them up. And this is, you go out and have the conversation. You're like, guys, we played like crap on that first map.
Yeah.
We won in overtime, but just barely. Let's everyone come in and just be fully focused and get off. And you see teams that are favorites that they kind of snap back into reality on map 2 frequently. So Fnatic's going to have to at least push back and provide resistance and make sure that Aurora knows you're not just going to be able to steamroll us on map 2 because you got that map 1 victory. We're still going to be here to compete and to stop you. But they've got to put that knowledge in Aurora's head early.
jottAAA with 2 burning away. Fear's actually got a second kill on the scout there, and we've ended up in a 2v3.
Bombs dropped out towards long as well, so that's going to have to be jottAAA, likely with the MAC-10, who would run and grab that with the cover of smoke. So this round will take a little bit of time to get towards the end. But it's always going to end in an Aurora third round. The only gap being the lower B tunnels. Wakati has been watching that for quite some time. Nobody's pushed. So this will be 3-0. I guess this is a good time to talk about the whole Cypher situation, if you want, because I don't know. I've just been the way I think about it is like I got plenty of empathy. I think we've all been in a position in life where you feel like you earned something, feel like you deserve it, feel like you were there, like that was the opportunity that you busted your ass for and didn't get it. And so we can all empathize with that situation. But also I'm sitting there and I remember like when Fnatic qualified for the major when we were at EPL, like the craziest things were coming out in terms of like the unlikeliest qualification ever, right?
It was like
all
a miracle
the things that had to go right. It was like, you know, Liquid had to drop out of Fragadelphia, NIP dropped out of Fragadelphia, VP had visa issues, couldn't make it to Pro League, M80 lost early so they couldn't gain as many points, Saw lost their match specifically against 9, OG had an early exit from their tournament run. All these things had to happen for Fnatic to get this major qualification. So for in my head, it's like the argument of like, Cypher qualified them to the major doesn't really fly, you know?
He did all of that.
No,
bro, he was calling up the Swedish border and he was like, yo, check VP's travel insurance.
That's actually a legit play. Yeah, go for it. But yeah, I don't know. My opinion is like, well, I empathize and feel really bad for him. You know, at the same time, you know, the organization has to make the best decision for what they think is for the long term of Fnatic, who's been out of majors for how long? You know, they have a responsibility too.
Also, the Irish guy kicking the British player, you know, Ross came out.
That one's just a classic, you know? Isn't it? Yeah.
Given the explanation. Here we go. Here comes the peek straight into B. It's going to be jottAAA to drop jottAAA.
Round's done.
And that pretty much is it. Yep, that's going to be a save call from Fnatic. More about the Cypher situation, I suppose. I like that interview that Jackie did with jottAAA ahead of this, though. It kind of gives you a little bit more of a length and insight into the mind of jottAAA, how he looks at the game, his level of maturity. I liked it. I thought he was a solid interview there. And you know, it's always interesting wondering, you know, what is his English going to be like, and it was solid. So, and I think just when a team is set up like this and you're an international squad, there is some level of culture that needs to be picked up. And I think, you know, the core of this past UA team is actually, you kind of bring the culture of that previous team over, a level of comfort and respect for the in-game leader. I'm sure for Fear, he's going to feel like jottAAA was his boy, you know. The amount of times he was talking about, he's his yes man. He's he's going to step up for him. And
it changes the nature as a younger IGL without experience who otherwise could come into this team and be like, oh god, I'm playing with Crims, who's a legend. Oh god, I'm playing with BlameF, who's been really good for years.
And BlameF's going to be opinionated too, you would imagine, having been an in-game leader for a long time.
When you got your boys behind you, you're like, oh, okay, at least I got some support.
Yeah, you've always got the majority when it comes to vote kicking.
Democracy.
Yeah.
Well, quick start for Aurora. Hot start for Aurora. Let's see how long they can keep it up when Fnatic is going to be able to resist.
He wants to flash second mid this round.
Okay. What's second mid on Dust2?
I think he meant flashing second.
Okay, I gotcha. Sure.
I realized when I said that.
I was thinking about it. I was like, wait.
What is he talking about?
It's Dust2.
Yeah.
All right,
Taking the time.
Lurk smoke towards the B bomb site is going to be ultra effective considering the way you just got busted in the previous round. So that'll make Crims nervous with jottAAA as those B defenders. Here's the catwalk take utility to force back any AWPers on the railing, any riflers grabbing an angle. Major's happy to just show that they've taken that part of the map. Fnatic's given a lot of real estate, very passive, just standard default setup. 3 towards A. You have the AWP over at Car on Jambo. Which means they're going to be very susceptible to this mid-split. And the majority of the forces coming into the B tunnels mean this double up outside of the site does not matter. But Aurora have to wait this smoke out, which is very awkward. At the moment, they're feeling like the game has been given away. Major's going to be flanked and taken down, and then it's all about getting into this B bomb site.
Yep, 20 seconds. Here they come. jottAAA out of the tunnels, into the fight. It's Crims, who takes a lot of damage on board, but jottAAA at least doing something about it. Crims also finding one of his own. And a 4v2. Looking good here for Fnatic. Even though that bomb is going to be planted, you've always got to give a chance to Woxic and Wakadia. This is Fnatic's best chance yet to get a round win on Dust2.
But you never know. Trying to retake this B bomb site can be very difficult. Up at the back of platform just wants to give one haircut. There is a Molotov on BlameF.
Well, Wakadia's got a double kill, and Woxic is blinded, but he still waits at the back of the platform. Can Woxic win this? As they come towards him, too many targets, and none of them landed on. It will be Fnatic to retake the B bomb site, losing 2 players on the way through, but succeeding in their first round win.
Yeah, that round was not very well timed between the fake on short. Obviously, the extra defensive smoke in the B tunnels causes, you know, additional problems, but still, that first smoke and the one that Major threw for that distracting wall on Cat was going to fade very, very early. I think the mistake that Aurora makes is at some point, like, it's almost like it's hard to wait out those smokes for like 10 seconds off of a fake, right? Like, you almost have to break through it. If nothing's happening on the map when that fake is thrown and that smoke is up, it sells the game. It gives away what's happening. But equally difficult to work up the courage to nade that open and kind of go through not knowing what's on the other side. Timeout from Fnatic so they can talk things over. First round on the board and pretty clean as well.
Yeah, 2 players kept up. Can start to grow the money if they win this round, but the issue is you've got Aurora still with a really good buy and even some money left over for the next round. So it's going to be an uphill battle here for Fnatic. Not only do they have to win this round, but they've got to win it with limited casualties. start getting closer and closer to an economic break. And look at Aurora again, heavy numbers towards B.
Well, the first time they did this, they caught only one defender here. Now that there's a successful defense, Crims, once again, the defense is very much the same. And I think, I don't know if they'll go through this, but I think the timing they're looking to hit is right after that smoke fades at the very least. So XANTARES has got to position himself up on catwalk to show that they're taking this position to keep the defense honest, to keep them from rotating all the way over. And Aurora's kind of called that off based off the missed timing. Giving up upper dark, upper B tunnels, back towards Xbox for mid control and see if they want to set up a split.
Well, that smoke is going to go down for that CT cross. Just over a minute left on the clock, and Aurora, they do set up with the majority of their forces at short now. No one left in the tunnels. It's going to be an A execution for the finish here with smokes ready to go, Molotovs and flashes to rain in on Fnatic's defense. But this is what Fnatic want. They've got everyone ready to go here apart from Crims. They're still waiting at B, but their smokes arrived, the wall created, and that grenade comes in at the perfect time as well. Weakens jottAAA, slows the attack, and BlameF tapping through the smoke, spraying down on MIBR. It is not going the way of Aurora until this point, as jottAAA gets one back, and with jokkasmo's kill, silencing jottAAA in return. And it's going to be an almost impossible 2v4 with that bomb getting planted.
Yeah, woxic needs to go nuclear in this round. Flashbang is out deep, wants to get a peek in, wants to take down one player, but they're being really smart, creeping up close to the wall, so woxic has to get aggressive, and that's an ambitious shot. Flashbang made it even more awkward than it was, and this plant goes nowhere. Retaken by Fnatic with ease. Second round on the board for the CT side.
Well, they do exactly what I said they needed to do, Jason, which is not only win the round, but limit the casualties. They only lose BlameF. They keep 4 players up. Their money's starting to swell. They have obviously enough money in the backup, but also a strong buy going into this one, going up against what is the last goodbye of Aurora. If Aurora lose this round, it will be the economic break they've been looking for to an extent.
And they've survived that early outburst from Aurora where it was very fast towards the B bomb side, contacty play, trying to take advantage of low utility, trying to take advantage of a lack of an AWP. Fnatic have survived that, so now Aurora is going to descend into a more typical T side. And now that Fnatic have the utility, they can manage that as well. So we get into the Counter-Strike now. The good stuff. Jambo not crossing over to the B bomb side. A lot of faith in Crims. He wants that mid pick. It was nearly there.
XANTARES going to climb up into Cat. BlameF just dumping his belt of utility before diving down to the safety of CT spawn instead. Well, they wanted to get through that B bomb site in the previous round. There's only one defender there in the last round. This time there's going to be that setup between Crims and jokkasmo again, and here come Aurora. jokkasmo waits behind the cart. Gone. And once again, it's just Crims, and he's blasted away, and you can't go for this.
I think this is going to be a main focal point of the game plan for Aurora, is this B bomb site throughout this half, especially considering some of the successes they've now had on it 2 or 3 times. But that's the same exact round they just called in the or like maybe 1 or 2 rounds ago, except this time instead of just saying, oh, we got here at the start and the smoke is up, we're going to change our idea. They just delay things a little bit. They just like set up like a default, throw the utility, and then just hustle over and hit the perfect timing to walk in after the smoke fades.
Yeah, kind of learning from what went wrong in that last round and very effectively adapting it to find success in the follow-up. And this is such an important round win for Aurora as well, because this was the economic break around the corner. If they had lost this, Fnatic very likely to tie up the game. The Shadow, they allow Fear that kill on Wakadia. He's going to back away. No further hunts will be had. We're now looking at 5-2 for the Turkish team.
Yeah, nice and simple to start things out. Grouped up. Good trading into the bomb site and taking advantage of Crims yet again at the B site. jokkasmo was there as well. Neither of them could really land anything all that impactful or influential. But as you said, the money was so good, the money is blown up for Fnatic, so they're fine. There's like 3 buys that Aurora has to burn through before they get a play at anti-eco. Double door smoke. Smoke for the cross as well. They don't want to mess with woxic's AWP.
Well, there's a big spread out here from BlameF. Can be feared to finish off the damage that BlameF started on XANTARES. And jottAA's also extremely low here. Luckily, he has the help of his teammates out the long doors. There's a heavy fight going on here. Fnatic still have a player committed down into the pit itself.
Aurora's had to burn so much utility to get into this position.
There's another piece.
Yeah, they still do not have control of long. They still have no idea, have not cleared pit. They're just bothered by the nuisance of Blame F.
He gets another one. Fear peeking up. Gonna be working out again. Finally, the pit player's gone. This round looks very difficult to figure out even a way you can make it look competitive at this point. Well, Cardi is gonna go back up to short. There is a double push through the lower tunnels. That climber, oh my god, he didn't see him.
No, timing's unreal.
That timing is incredible for Crims.
It was just the top of that little bald head.
He didn't see it. The sun blinded him. The reflection too much.
Hey, I can make those jokes, you can't. Good shot from Jambo.
I really took it so far, didn't I? That's fair enough. It doesn't work like that, Jess.
No, it doesn't work like that.
I can't say I've got a bald front.
You don't have the bald card.
Well, this is Blame F just being an absolute nuisance, as you mentioned. Just through the smokes. All the early damage being done. Timing's ridiculous.
All right, Fnatic coming back into it. I like it. I like what I'm seeing. Still continuing to enjoy this Fnatic show. Timeout taken from Aurora as they're on the back foot. A win and an immediate loss. So losing bonus reset, not a lot of cash in the bank, and they've got to figure things out. Woxic will have a scout. AK-4, it's not the worst buy in the world for kind of a busted economy. But outside of these plays, like towards the B bomb site, trying to find that timing in B halls, I don't think we found anything that really works all that well for Aurora. Long control hasn't really been effective the few rounds they've got it. They're able to get short control, but the executes into the A bomb site haven't won them around. So this is Fnatic's defense is starting to put a stop and make this a very difficult half for Major to call.
Yeah, when you're running out of the tools that you need, well, that certainly is a big problem. Here's Xantares leading the charge at long. And same result. Xantares dead within seconds. So I think long just isn't the area right now for Aurora.
At least not fast, right? At least not immediately.
All right, shifting with a bomb in the pack of 3. They're going to be back over towards B. It's empty right now, Jason.
That's what I mean. That's why I'm saying I think this is going to be a focal point for their T side. Just the way they've kind of prioritized it so early on and have given it a variety of different looks. It feels like they've talked about the variety of ways in which they want to attack into it. Crim's taken a lot of time to shuffle utility between him and jottAAA, so I feel like he missed the timing in which he thought it was safe to drop in, but now he's been spotted, and now he's caught out in the open.
Yeah, Crims is dead. He's going to be gone, no problem. His teammate trying to come in to save the day, but Wacardia is going to double up. jottAAA, the next victim. And we're looking at a 4v2 here with that bomb getting planted down within the site.
Listen, I know we did our Cypher segment just a while ago, but we got to be careful in the sense it wasn't the interview given was kind of like we think jottAAA and Crims have a lot of synergy to work together well, and his B defense is not looking that way quite yet.
And Jambo, no retreating, no getting away. Blame F is as far away as he can possibly be here, waiting for the exits out of the tunnels, but he's not going to get those coming his way. So now, that's a really important round to win here for Aurora, because you were just mentioning how this half is going to get really difficult for Magic to start calling because they're running out of money.
I mean, difficult in the sense that it feels like they've had like some pretty big options not be successful and sort of taken away from them, but I mean, in the other sense, there's maybe an easy calling because every time you've gone B, you kind of
go B, go win.
Yeah. Like that part of it's easy.
That definitely has been working out. I think the other side of things right now is that they've got them close to an economic break every time, Fnatic, but every time they're about to do it, Aurora just find that last little bit of life in them.
Yeah.
They keep going on this T side and continuously having buy after buy.
Still economic concerns for Fnatic despite how rich they are. Depending on which weapons are saved, they could be going into the last round with a pretty busted buy if they just lose everything from here on out.
All right, Aurora settling into the default. They've got cat control. Mid to B smoke being thrown out. And if you're the B players, you're just always on high alert at this point. Realizing that you guys have not had a great half of Counter-Strike here.
Still a lot of pressure from these B tunnels. The really deep defensive smoke. Aurora just waiting for the Molotov in mid to fade, but now that the smoke is up, they've got a little bit of cover. Awkward to work around, but with the mid to B smoke in place, although it missed its mark, and they're not going to know that until they turn the corner. I think that's got a huge gap. Not a huge one.
Santaras all the way at the front. Crims. Oh, it's an awkward fight. He's not going to win it, but jottAAA is going to trade. Important response here for Aurora as they try and get up through catwalk into the A bomb site. Matcher separated off from the rest of his teammates, but jottAAA has found the perfect time to activate that lurk out long and just be the nuisance, the X factor. And the winning player of the round here for Aurora at 7-3 now as the T side continues to rack up.
Yeah, that's a lot of success over towards the B bomb site. The long player on defense kind of forgets that he's in charge of that late lurk. I think they're caught off guard, completely sensing that's going to be a mid to B split with all the emphasis towards the B bomb site. They thought it would be a split. They thought it'd be heading in the other direction. The catwalk play completely catches them off guard. Fear and Jambo both turn to address the situation, and jottAAA punishes them for it. Already that buy starting to look pretty scuffed on the Fnatic side of things.
Woxic gonna be smoked out, and we'll retreat away from long, all the way back into middle.
Yeah, but look at the ground that's been gained. Good shot.
Santaras first victim, and Jambo keeps his head down and is unable to be traded out.
Yeah, but this is, I think Aurora's fine with this eventuality. I think they gladly trade Zantar's life on short to get them this kind of access into the bomb site. Only one defender over at long. So now you can at least get the bomb planted, and the retake nades are going to have to be great from the Fnatic side of things.
Wakadia just dove right down into the fight. He only gets one out of it, but jottAAA again! Impact once more from jottAAA. And Jambo no longer feels like he has any sort of confidence to move through that smoke into jottAAA on the hot hand.
No, look at the buy. You have to save the AWP at the very least. Let the MP9 go forward if it wants to. I think Fear should back off as well. You're going to have BlameF able to buy a rifle. jottAAA and Crims will have to fend for themselves. And Fear gets nothing at the end of the round, trying to play it sneaky to grab an AK-47 right at the close. Ooh, they might actually even find Jambo. Hold the phone. Major's coming in hot. Jambo's going to keep his head tucked down. Easy kill. Does he want to go for another? He does. And he goes down. That's the AWP. That's disastrous.
Yeah, that is huge because there's not enough money to get that back out again unless you just throw all of BlameF's money into getting it. And that's actually what's going to be happening here. BlameF is going to make the call to buy the AWP, get that into Jambo's hands, but it's going to cost him some essential pieces of utility on a few of these players here.
I think it's really the only way you can win the round if you get Jambo having an AWP. Pick you off one player early, pick off one guy, and just make it a 5-on-4. That's the good one. That's what you needed. And that's likely why he's dropped the AWP. Had the long spawn for that peek, and Crims adds on top.
Okay. Fair enough. Fnatic off to the races here. Looking to try and block B for what feels like the first time in the half. This time with 3 players.
I think this time Crims knew what was coming. He was like, just as that molly subsides, they're going to try and take their first step the way they've done time and time again. This time he's ready for it. 5-on-3 for Fnatic.
Let's see if Aurora can somehow still leave this half with 9 T rounds. They've got over a minute to play with. Zintara is still alive. And he hasn't really done too much on this T side. Has often been the first victim trying to create space for his teammates. And he won't get anything done here, so we'll end the half 4-8. But as long as Aurora end at 8-4, I don't think they're going to mind too much whatsoever. And that is going to be the scoreline. Fnatic keeping it clean here, rounding out the first half.
Sphere going to check beneath them. Easy kill for Wakadia. 1 versus 4 now. But really just a 1v1 at this bomb site, so it's kind of easy.
Oh, yeah, easy. And gets back in the middle. Takes the harder option. Still comes out on top of that fight and doesn't actually sustain too much damage, but it's the problem of time, Jason. 20 seconds left on the clock.
Make me believe. Yeah, this is too much.
Yeah, the time is the issue. It's another headshot. 18 seconds. Gotta get a move on if you want to go for it, but he just has to play for elimination at this point.
What is he playing for stats?
And yeah, well, he's got another one.
Can he go B? There's no time.
No, there's no time. They're not fighting. Do not fight him. Do not give him a chance of this. Wakadia was in a 1v5 racing down to try and catch Jambo, who wins the half out. in the last second. Nice shots from Arcadia.
He did what we wanted. He made us feel like it was possible.
Yeah, he did. You were begging for it, he gave it to you, and it wasn't possible in the end.
Oof. What, 10 seconds when he swings out middle? Could he have made it to B?
Don't think so.
Don't think so. Doesn't feel that way, does it?
Jambo peeking him as
Well,
well.
that's the thing. I think that's what Jambo's thinking as well. Like, can he make it to the B bomb site?
Yeah,
So he
it's a
wanted
little
that
bit in the
peek to
back of his head.
like get the tracking of what exactly is going on. Voiv, they gave him every opportunity to win that one. 8-4. Aurora looking to escape this series that has been so dangerous. Overtime win on the first map that didn't look like likely, didn't look like it was going to happen. You've come into Dust2, had a great first half, have a good lead, but Fnatic have shown enough fight back to make it feel like, you're not going to get away with this one for free. This is one you're going to have to work for to close out on Dust2. If you keep this music playing as Woxic is head in hands, it feels...
The juxtaposition is fantastic.
It feels like he just, I don't know, broke up with a girlfriend. Silence.
It's a little bit of happiness mixed in there too, Jason. Like, that music's pretty chill.
It felt like a bad breakup to me. I don't know what kind of vibe you were getting from that music, but for me, it felt like a sad, like, I had to. I didn't really
It's
want
more
to,
like
but
apathetic,
I did it because it's going to be better for her.
Yeah, that's what we always say, isn't it, Jason? Then we hit the club. Here goes BlameF straight away. P250 out into the fight. jottAAA peeking up. Great headshot. And that's a shutdown and a half right there. That is Aurora coming out clean with it. No.
Look, I'm on Ricadia's side. That should have been a headshot.
Yeah, that should have been.
But don't lose this one because then it just gets really weird.
No, that we remember that moment. But if we win it, yeah, it's all good. Aurora win it. We don't even think about it ever again.
Ricadia, clip that, send it to Valve. Volvo, please. Defuse comes in, pissed around one by Aurora, giving them a commanding lead here on Dust2.
Well, we'll see what kind of decision comes up here for Fnatic. They're going to be getting into Mac 10s. So going to be buying up in the next round here. With that bomb plant coming in, no surprises with that force buy on the table. They'll take it, and an AK out for BlameF.
That's all 4 pistol rounds won by Aurora so far in this series. And I mean, just thinking about an overtime win on Mirage, those pistol rounds came in clutch. Came in big. Here on Dust2, doesn't look like they're going to need that buffer that it's provided them. But we are getting a rush into the B bomb site. It's only jottAAA here to defend.
Well, Crimson BlameF with a Mac 10 and AK combo. Now broken through B and forced the safe call for Aurora. So the force buy has worked out for Fnatic.
Yeah, this was the first gun round I think Aurora had in the first half as well. They basically just hit the B bomb site and was just like, oh, it's over.
2 clean
2
entries,
kills and it's
job's done.
Yeah.
Saving the other side of the map.
Yeah, we're going to save here.
Really important Fnatic get this one though.
Yeah, it's huge. As long as they can continue it. 3M4 still on the board, so still going to be a very strong buy in the next round for Aurora. Fnatic have a lot of ground to recover, but only 4 rounds back after this.
Fist bumps in. Yeah, when you put it that way, Jason, it does feel a lot easier on paper, doesn't it? Seems like a possibility.
I mean, look,
4 rounds.
You can make it even simpler if you want. Like, give me one good BlameF round, and you're right back within striking distance.
You could probably make it even simpler and talk about how many gun rounds is involved.
No, that sounds complicated. Sounds like a lot. Math's involved. I don't want that.
Fair enough.
Round 15, there's this 3M4 still in hand. MP9 on Wakadia, 5-7 on jottAAA. 16 and 5, that just previous round of unable to contain the B rush is maybe the biggest blight on jottAA's record here on Dust2 so far.
Well, jottAA on this B bomb site can be such a threat. We've seen his impact on Dust2 across the last couple of tournaments for Aurora. Had a great time so far on the map. Fnatic just making sure there's no pesky little pistols hiding around the other side of the doors. They're going to take their time as they come up short as a foursome. We've got jottAAA now joining them at the back. There's no one actually in the A side, so Fnatic decided to go contact Jason. They're going to be on the A bomb site in no time, but now jottAAA is just transitioned into the peak, and it's worked out very well as he takes BlameF down first.
That's first kill. Nice clip for jottAAA. He's got to go tuck himself in towards pit with low HP and just play the headshot battle. And Jambo gave him a couple chances at it. Keeps coming back in. So Major's going to be at long with jottAAA. 2 going to be retaking through Catwalk, and a third and jottAAA joining up with them. It's all coming down to this fight on short.
Oh, great shot from jottAAA out from the side of the stairway with jottAAA gone. Here comes jottAA's 5-7, but there's 3 players. A triangle of death just in front of him. Zantara's holding, then Crims comes through and he spins back, but he can't take Major, and it will be Aurora to win out the retake.
Yeah, really nice job from Aurora. I mean, they're basically just sending guys one by one at Catwalk, which would normally look a little bit silly, but the fact that the long portion of that retake is coming in so aggressively and so fast makes it perfect. Good information gathered that 3 players at the Catwalk stairs meant there's a lot of real estate to work with at long and up the ramp. 10-5 as Aurora get it right back. Just 3 rounds away from closing out this series and getting out of here with an opening series victory in PGL Masters Bucharest.
This is a big round for Fnatic. Lose this, money's gone. Half by territory, map point, series point about to be conceded. So this really is it for Fnatic. This is the round. They go in the middle quite early on here, through the mid doors as well. I like how early they've taken this space with that smoke going down on the cross.
This is going to be tough to break through. 2 defenders inside the B bomb site. Zantara's in CT spawn ready to party. The only thing he doesn't have with him is a nade to break open that smoke. But Fnatic not committed yet.
The 2 B bomb site players have had hot hands throughout Dust2 as well. jottAAA and jottAAA inside of the site, and then Zantara's down and towards CT. Fnatic are still taking the time as they're still transitioning through short. They can re-smoke out that mid to B cross, but Zantara is anticipating a B bomb site finish, so instead of playing committed down and towards CT spawn, he's going to lean over towards B.
Yeah, putting a lot of trust in jottAAA as well, and rightfully so. Your Opera positioned over at car. He's just saying, look, if they go this, I know jottAAA can grab his 1 or 2, and he doesn't necessarily need me at railing to keep anything going.
But we can see it's just going to be a catwalk execute, fake into the B bomb site split, so you end up having 3 players here for the defense. This is exactly what Aurora want.
Yeah, and the first time they're going to discover it's a stack is Zantara is fighting over at the boxes, and it'll be too late to do anything else.
Yes, oh my god, BlameF just barrages his way right through him, and then jottAAA as well. jottAAA blinded inside of the site. That is what BlameF can do for you, but jottAAA unravels all of his hard work and finally dead to the hand of Crims.
Okay, Major on the flank is going to have everything to do. This is going to be interesting. I think BlameF feels like he has to stay out of the B bomb site. No one can support Crims. He's alone.
Yeah, but he doesn't go down. Now it goes into the peak, but he loses his life, and now it is BlameF fighting on 2 fronts, but he can do it. He can absolutely do it for his team in this all-important round for Fnatic. It has all been BlameF, and he will close it out. A 4K with some ridiculous shots on the entries. He's the whole reason they get into B, and he's the definite reason as to why they win it.
Yeah, there's a miscue on that defense with Zantara's playing behind the boxes. One player, I think jottAAA, just peeking up towards the window. Gives that initial glimpse, which is great to keep attention there, but you have to kind of peek out enough to cover that left wall run up. That's the only position where Zantara's is susceptible. He stands up, getting ready to fight, not even realizing that BlameF is in some safety, able to just punish him. But what a round from BlameF.
Yeah, you said earlier.
That's what I said. Give me one BlameF round.
Some rounds.
Yeah.
Yep. He's giving you the round. Let's see what he can do now as he charges out long.
Major's defending with an MP9.
He's like, uh-oh.
He's like, this is actually the fight for me.
Here comes Mr. Bremer, and he's just battering them as he goes forward. It's jottAAA with a no-scope through the smoke while blinded. A lot of icons in the kill feed for that one.
That'll happen.
But mostly it's BlameF in the kill feed at the moment.
Oh, but hold the phone. Hold the phone from Moss. Can't connect on anything from jottAAA.
To BlameF for the 3K.
That's not a bad sequence in back-to-back rounds. 7 kills over the past 2 rounds. And Fnatic coming right back into this because the money is well and truly gone for Aurora. So 10-7 at an incredibly strong position to make it 10-8.
Well, BlameF has given you hope, giving you a chance here, Fnatic. Now it's on the rest of the squad to step up and start delivering alongside of him. It's on Fear to start calling their way through this T side. Yes, looked down and out.
Yeah, so far so good though.
In the most important round of the second half, they're walking into a B bomb site with 3 players. One of them is Antares, and BlameF just insta-kills Antares before he gets a single frag. Like, that is one of the most impactful kills you're going to see in the series.
Yeah, and you know, Zantar's having a you know, kind of a rough day in the office. First half of Mirage started out very slow. He was getting exploited and punished a lot at the top con on the CT side, but he bounced back in the second half when they switched over to the T side. Here on Dust2, just been quiet, just been getting schooled. So rough day in the office for Zantares, and Aurora is desperately trying to survive without a whole lot of his impact today.
And he's happy to lead the charge again out long. Running forward. Here come the pistols right in towards him. BlameF's going to handle the pressure first. Then gets tagged by woxic, who does well on the scout again. Another kill found across the board. Eventually treaded out by Fear. Bomb site's taken. Plant is secured. And an 8th round about to be picked up here by Fnatic.
Yeah, really good streak for Fnatic. jottAAA is just going to look, I think, for an AK-47 at the end of the day. A cheeky kill as they cross back over to avoid the bomb blasts, but not a whole lot you can really do. So 10-8, BlameF on 15, leading the way for Fnatic yet again, much like he was on the opening map of this series on Mirage, where he netted himself something like 28 kills across the map. And how does Aurora change their defense to handle this? I think even in that, I mean, obviously it's like, even in that mid to B round that BlameF gets quad kill, I think they actually played it great. Like, I don't think there's any cause for panic.
They should have had a round victory. That's why it's so special that BlameF was able to deliver the round win.
Yeah, I don't think if you're Aurora, I don't think if you panic whatsoever in your setups or how you're shifting, how you're rotating, how you're reading the game, I think you feel like you're on point with all of that. Just the eventualities have gone against you a couple of times, despite having the right read. So second timeout for Aurora. They're going to talk things over and figure out exactly how they want to do this. woxic has got plenty of words in response to Major.
Chill music back again, Jason. Getting you ready for what is going to be a tie game. Fnatic looking to win 2 rounds in a row here to bring it to 10-10.
Give me another overtime.
We could get more overtimes. Then we finish on Inferno as the 3rd and final. As you leaked the script coming into the start of this map, Jason, you did.
It's a fair point.
Don't you forget about that.
Here we go. Smoke for long, double doors. Fnatic's not coming at it from the T side, though. Standard utility, double doors, smoke, and a cat molly for the T side to allow them to scale.
Oh, flash to allow the jump up from Mr. BlameF.
Almost feels like I wonder if woxic's eventually going to get aggressive in towards upper with that AWP. He's kind of got an off angle at the moment.
Yeah, but I think with that presence now, that
probably not
that
anymore.
idea.
But we've seen woxic do some crazy pushes like that in the past. Smoke attempted to be broken open, didn't fully clear.
Yeah, well, at this point, Fnatic haven't fully progressed around that corner at Catwalk just yet. Fear is going to start joining up here.
They've done a great job of milking utility, though, right? Like, there's 2 mollies, a smoke, and a flashbang left for Aurora's CT side. They don't have a whole lot of utility for any retake scenario they're going to get put in, for any kind of anything to disjoint, counter nades to break up and execute. They're going to have to take the full brunt of whatever Fnatic decide to bring to the table. And with this positioning, Ricadia's kind of got to play pretty aggressive behind the smoke and B tunnels.
Wakati going to try and block them as they come out of the tunnels. It's Woxic from the site. jottAAA gone. Flashes, Molotovs raining in. Can Aurora hold on for the final 10 seconds here? Wakati is still in behind the car. Fear with an essential kill. He's getting tied up, but he makes his way to the bomb site, but they're going to run him down, making sure he cannot plant. He does not have the time for it. And it will be an 11th round for Aurora secured.
I respect the shit out of jottAAA just tanking all those bullets, like, whatever. Like, just taking them all straight to the chest.
Soaks him up. Doesn't even die.
Yeah, I mean, that's a crazy... I just mentioned the amount of utility they've been able to take away from the Aurora defense. The only Molotov remaining was the B defender. Shout out to jottAAA for holding on to it for just that exact moment. Double kill from Woxic inside the bomb site, and Fnatic get timed out. 11-8. This time they are coming at long with some pace.
Oh, but this time it's going to be an opener from Woxic. He goes back in for a double dip and make it 3. Woxic rips apart Fnatic. The long setup is not going to work out for the T side this time, as Jambo and Fear slink their way down bottom mid. It is 12 rounds for Aurora. Series point locked in by Woxic, unless Jambo and Fear have something special left on the table. And Woxic, he's got the read, and he's got his follow-up kill. Woxic is on for the ace. As Fear's now been spotted, Woxic backtracks, looking for all 5.
Uh-oh.
And he's got a little bit of a blind side, but he's going to adjust, and he's going to miss the shot. Woxic eventually taken down by Fear, who then goes for the clutch alone. Natron in his position and jumps up on top to his death by jottAAA. Woxic surely has done enough now to leap Aurora into the lead.
That's just picture perfect as an AWPer. That's exactly the scenario you want. Your peaks are all timed at the perfect moment with them coming out right in that narrow choke point out of the smoke. Every time you come back ready to fire off another shot, they're there waiting for you. Had to have felt so good for Woxic. 19 kills for the AWPer of Aurora. And they got 4 opportunities to close out Dust2 and this series. Take a deep breath, go home, and work on whatever issues are plaguing them today.
A timeout taken for Fnatic. It's got to be perfect to pull it back just to get overtime again. And that does not look like it's even close to being reality. Galil for jottAAA and AK for Fear. And BlameF may have opened up an opportunity for Fnatic to extend play, but Woxic has just shut it down. He'll go back to Long again. Woxic into the peak. Long is closed. Protected by the gaze of Woxic, and Fnatic now going to move into middle.
I was going to say, there's no way Fnatic go back at Long after that previous round. Instead, they'll gain some quick pacing up catwalk and gain them control there. Smoke down at the corner. Very grouped up is Fnatic with the weaker weapons and not a lot of utility to work the map. They feel like they have to make a call and just kind of hit it with all 5 players.
Well, back to Long they go.
Yeah, but Woxic's not here, so fair play.
It's Madger.
What's interesting is actually because of the fast catwalk pressure, Aurora has control of neither Long nor Cat. They're all playing at the railing in that straight line, right? So they're not going to be able to push forward into the site to find safety.
Well, Madger in the pit. He's going to spot them. Utility being deployed. Needs to be careful. Needs to get his gun out in time, and he just won't handle the pressure of Fear. Woxic has no fear whatsoever. Stays in the open. And Zantaras alongside of him shut this one down. Aurora will come to day 1 of PGL Masters Bucharest as the favorites for the competition, and they will take a 2-0 win over Fnatic. Mirage was a bit of a struggle, but Dust2 was a one-way street.
It was. I'm going to say, though, I mean, you know, it kind of is a bit of vintage Aurora in there, right, Striker? You were getting worried because you've seen them throw these kind of Dust2 situations before. Fortunately, though, they were on the CT side, so I guess it's all going to be okay.